This is video 4.2 of the Blender 2.80 course, and this time it's about snapping. Snapping is useful when you want to make sure that something that you place is exactly next to something else, or you want to align something so that you only turn it at like a certain degree, like 5-degree increments, or you want to scale something so that it is fixed as to how much it scales. And to do that, you have here on the top a snap menu. First of all, there's a snap switch. This is now turned on, and this is now turned off. You can also do most of your snapping by pressing the Ctrl key while you are doing the actual thing that you are doing, like moving the object. So you don't have to have this turned on unless you are doing a lot of snapping. I usually leave it off. Here you can see what to snap to. Snapping to increment means that you want to snap to the grid. Now if I turn on snap to increment, and I will affect move, rotation and scale. Now when I select the object and press G and move it, it will snap to the grid units one by one when I move. If I don't have the Control key down, it won't do that. It will move just smoothly around. If I drop it there and see that my y-axis is at 0.41 of 0.45, and then I start to move it on the x-axis, y-axis, like this, G for grab, Y, and move, it will then move at 2.4, 3.4, 4.4, because the object wasn't on the grid when I started. But if I do this and I put on absolute grid snap and then press G, it will only allow me to move it at increments of 1, which is neat at some time. I can also do a rotation so that it is affected by the snap settings. Turn on the snap and rotate my object on the x-axis, and it will only turn in 5-degree increments. If you look at the rotation, it goes to 40, 45, 50, 55, whatever. So also I can turn it off and press rotate and then keep Control down, and it will only allow 5-degree increments, like so. If I don't have it down, I can do any rotation I want. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not such a good idea. The other thing you can do with this is that you can snap to vertices, edges, or faces, or even volume, edge centers, or edge perpendiculars. Snap to the nearest point on an edge. So to illustrate that, I will make I'll snap this to the center quickly. Cursor to word origin, selection to cursor, like so. And I'll make a copy of this cube, shift delete, and then on the X direction, like so. Now, if I have turned on Vertex, and I will then move this cube close to the other one. When I go all the way close to it, it will snap so that the vertices are now joined. This is an exact match. If I do the same thing here again, I will make a copy of this on the x-axis and then move this with the snap on closer to the other box. It will snap when it goes close enough. It will snap. Again, sometimes this is useful, sometimes it's just a pain. So I just leave it off and move it on the X scale. And then if I want to snap, I just press on the Control and it will snap to the place when the Control is down. And you can do this in edit mode as well. If you want to snap a vertex to another vertex, you can just, if I added another, like a plane in here, where did it go? Shift A, plane, oh, there it is. And I wanted to snap this vertex close to another vertex. I could go to my vertex menu, select this one vertex in edit mode, and when I now press my Ctrl down and start to move it, it will snap to the vertex like so. So this is the basic use of snap, and you will have many uses for snap when you understand what you want to do at any given time. This is also very important that you know the quick menu for this, which is Shift S. Here you have many types of snapping. You can, first of all, you can snap the cursor to whatever you have selected. So if I have a ball in here, and in the ball I have the top vertex here, I can now with Shift S say snap cursor to selected. And now I have the 3D cursor at the very top of the object there. And if I wanted to snap this cube to that top of that ball, I could now select this cube and then with Shift S say selection to cursor, which will snap my cube onto the top vertex of that ball. Also, if I had moved that away and I have selected these both, and I say cursor to active, now the 3D cursor is snapped to the active object. And I can say selection to active, like so. We also have cursor to grid, which means that the cursor will jump to the nearest grid point from the 7 view, top view. You can see that it is now aligned on the grid there. And you have cursor to world origin, which means the cursor will jump to the 0, 0, 0 point of your world. Keep offset means that you can, if you have an offset between two objects, you can keep the offset but still snap to the cursor. I don't use that so much, but cursor to grid, cursor to world origin, cursor to selected, and selection to cursor, selection to active. All of these are very important, and they all are behind Shift S.